The next full set in Pokemon Pocket has been leaked online, and we're going to be taking a look at all of the cards here in today's video. Before we jump into that, if y'all new here, please make sure y'all do subscribe to the channel, because once these packs do release, I am going to be opening 100 packs and sharing that content with you guys, so make sure y'all are subbed up if you don't want to miss that. With that out of the way, let's jump right into our first card. So we're going to be going one at a time. Some of these are not going to be as cool, like we already know about this lady, and I think we saw it in the trailer. Okay. This Shuckle, it gets guard press. I still don't think it's a great move for it. I'm gonna be honest, we're not using this Shuckle. Roselia as a basic, flip a coin. If heads, it does 30 more damage. Okay, we've had cards like that before, that's not too bad. Roserade does 2 energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned and it can retreat. That's actually kind of cool, I like that. That's a pretty sick move for Roserade. You can trap someone in and poison them. Obviously they can still get out with a card like Lyra, but it still has a lot of cool potential. Okay, Cacturn, 120 health and a 3 energy attack. If your opponent's active Pokemon has damage on it, it does 60 more damage. Okay, so 3 energy, potential 120 damage is actually not bad for a non-EX card. I like that a lot. Okay, then we have a new Chestnut line. So the Chestnut's attack is 4 energy, Needle Lariat, 80 damage. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, do 80 damage to the attacking Pokemon. I mean, not terrible, but I'll be honest, for 4 energy, that's kind of diabolical. I'm not sure that I can justify that for the Chestnut. Like, don't get me wrong, 80 damage to their Pokemon just for attacking you is actually kind of big, but you have to get the attack off to do that. And so, if that was an ability or something, I mean, that would be broken if it's an ability, let's be honest. But yeah, there's way too much setup I think needed to make that work. Okay, Scatterbug is just normal Spupa. Oh, okay, so you can evolve straight into Vivillon from Spupa, and then it gets a 2 energy attack. Your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned and asleep, 2 energy, 60 damage. That's pretty solid. You know, basically a weaker version of Mega Venusaur. Oh, we have new Ultra Beast cards? Okay, wait. Buzzwole, 2 energy. If your opponent has gotten exactly 1 point, this attack does 40 more damage. I'll be honest, already a garbage card. We hate this. We will not be using the 1 energy, or the 2 energy, potentially 80 damage Buzzwole. I think Kartana is just going to be better overall. Gossifleur is 1 energy, 20 damage. We don't care about that one. Okay, Eldegoss. You may shuffle this Pokemon and all attached cards into your deck. Okay, that's actually kind of banger. Eldegoss could be really good in grass decks if you just want it to be up there doing damage while you're setting up someone on the bench, because it only requires 1 energy and at any time, because it doesn't say you have to shuffle it back into the deck. It says you can if you want to. And so if your Eldegoss is about to die, or if you're ready to attack with a different card, then you can shuffle it back into the deck. I actually like that a lot. That is really fire. And then we have the Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. Okay, we saw this one in the trailer already. Any of your Pokemon that has the energy attached recovers from all special conditions that can't be affected by any special conditions. So definitely very banger. And then of course this attack is going to be really strong. It's basically almost guaranteed 120 damage for only 2 energy. Like obviously either you or your opponent has to be set up with a lot of energy, but that's still very banger of an attack. I like it. Okay, moving on to fire types. We have a new Alolan Marowak. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned, and keep in mind we can still use Kiawe for this card, so that's quite interesting. Oh, we have Reshiram cards. Yo, Pokemon Pocket devs who are listening to me, please drop a Unova set, I'm begging you. We need Reshiram and Zekrom EX. We need Kyurem White and Black, forget all that. We need Kyurem White and Black. Please give it to us. Okay, but Blue Flare, not too bad, especially because we have fire ramp support from Flame Patch. I guess you can make this attack work. It's still not the best though, like only 110 damage for 3 energy. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Okay, Litleo is just a normal attack, and then Pyro is just a normal attack as well. Okay, we saw this Oricorio in the trailer. Oh, Blacephalon EX. Okay, so 1 energy is going to burn your opponent's active Pokemon. And then the 3 energy, you discard all 3 energy from this Pokemon, but keep in mind you can run Lusamine in this deck, and so you can play Lusamine to get 2 energy, and then you can also Flame Patch as well to get an extra energy as well. So I feel like if you have the right card set up, you could be spamming Pop Punk a lot. with Blacephalon EX. Obviously, you probably want to be running a different card and let it die so that you can get the point, because you can't play Lucamine unless your opponent already gets the point. Okay, the Cinderace card is really good. It's a free retreat, and during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. No energy needed to retreat is actually just like straight up diabolical. Cinderace, I can't wait to use that one. That one looks goated. Heart's Flame Mask Ogerpon is 2 energy, 40 damage, flip a coin. If heads, take 2 energy. Oh, wait, what is this card? I'll be honest, I don't like the fact that it's a coin flip. I wish it was just like a guaranteed 1 energy. But this card seems like it could be very cheese. Obviously, you could run Will for like the guaranteed heads flip. I'll have to see how this plays out. Okay, we got a new Alolan Vulpix. My goat finally has an EX version. Alolan Ninetales is 150 health. The attack for this is very interesting. It's 2 energy, 80 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, they can't take any energy from their energy zone to attach to their active Pokemon. So, whoa, that is way too toxic. So they're basically forced to either retreat out, but if you attack someone when they don't have energy, are they just trapped? Like, imagine if you have like a Mega Pokemon on the bench, and then you like hit them with Greninja, you Cyrus them in, and then they're just not allowed to attach energy on that Pokemon. Like, do they just lose the game? That feels like... This feels way too toxic. I don't know. And obviously we'll have to see how it plays out, but this feels like it's potentially going to be way too freaky for no reason. Okay, we have a Galarian Mr. Mime, just a normal attack. And then Galarian Mr. Rhyme, triple spin, 60 damage for each heads. Okay, that's actually a little bit scary, I'll be honest, especially for a normal card, and it could be doing 180 damage. I'm seeing potential. Delibird, Box of Surprises, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 70 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. If tails, heal 30 damage from your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Not really a fan of the Delibird card. Okay, we have a Mudkip card, interesting. Marshtop. Okay, we have Swampert. For 3 water energy, large whirlpool. For 100 damage, discard a random energy from among the energy attached to all... Okay, so it's basically Mega Gyarados. Or not Mega Gyarados, but Gyarados EX. Like the old Gyarados EX from Mythical Island. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I like that. It's just a slightly weaker version, but it's not an EX. Oh, there's a Mega for it! Okay, wait. So it's 150 damage and it discards 2 random energy from among all of the energy. Okay, wait. Mega Swampert is actually kind of goated. I like that a lot. Alright, Vanilla doesn't seem like it's me anything crazy. Okay. Oh, so we have a Sweet Swirlay. I think we have Sweet Swirlay for the whole line now. I might have to double check if I'm right or not. But I feel like last time they had dropped Sweet Swirlay for Vanillish, and now we have it for Vanillux as well. Which, I mean, again, yeah, for 2 energy and 120 damage, that's honestly pretty good. Kragonal is 1 energy, 20 damage. Your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from their hand. So basically, Chingling, but it is more bulky. Oh, we have fossil cards. Okay, so we have a Mora here. Just a normal attack. And then Aurorus. For 3 energy, it's 90 damage. Discard 2 water energy from this Pokemon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Oh, snap. Okay, wait. That's actually really... That's way too good. Keep in mind, you're not discarding all of your energy. You're discarding 2 of your energy. Like, usually in the past, they make you discard all of your energy for attacks like this on electric types. But you only have to discard 2 water energy. So if you're ramping up a lot on this one, like maybe you get lucky with Misty, or even ramping with Mantike a lot, or with Manaphy, just anything like that. Maybe you're even bringing back the old Vaporeon that can control water energy. You could just be paralyzing people however you want. Okay, we got this Dreadnought, nothing too crazy about it, just 120 damage for 4 energy. Okay, we got Cramorant as a basic. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Nothing too crazy about that one. Arrokuda, just a normal attack. I like how the Cramorant was fishing for it there. Then we have the Barraskewda, just 1 energy, 40 damage. I'll be honest, nothing too special there. Okay, we have another Ogerpon variant. It's the water type one. 2 energy, 40 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack also does 40 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. I'm not a fan of the fact that these Ogerpon cards seem to be relying on coin flips. but I guess it's fine. Okay, new Pikachu. 30 damage and also does 10 damage to itself. Interesting. And then we have a Alolan Raichu. Okay, so first we got the ability Surge Surfer. If a stadium is in play, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. And then it's a 2 energy attack that does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Zapdos. For 3 energy, one other Pokemon is chosen at random one time. Oh, so this is like Magcargo, but for Zapdos. It's just a basic card, and it's 3 lightning energy. I think in a perfect world, if you want to make this work, you lead with Pichu, and then you just let the Pichu die and you keep ramping energy on your Zapdos. I mean, definitely going to be a very gimmicky strat, but I kind of like that a lot. Okay, Plusle is 10 damage for 1 energy, flip a coin. If heads, they're paralyzed. We've seen attacks that before. Okay, and then Minun is... Ooh, okay, so it's 30 damage. If Plusle on your bench's attack also does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, each of them? That's actually insane. I feel like Minun and Plusle are going to be very meta for Cyrus setup in the future. Okay, we have Toxel, so we're getting Toxtricity. Oh, Toxtricity EX. 150 HP, 3 energy, 90 damage. It also does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage on it. We are literally using Toxtricity EX with Minun and Plusle. I feel like that's the strat. They literally want you to do that. I'm already like formulating the deck in my head. This actually seems like it could be goated. And then you throw in a Jolteon EX as well, so that just in case there's anyone ramping energy, they're taking bonus damage as well. I feel like this could actually be peak. Okay, we got a new Tadbulb. For a colorless energy, take a lightning energy and attach it to this Pokemon. Okay. And then Bellibolt is just a regular attack. I'm assuming we're going to get a better Bellibolt in the future because that feels like such a letdown in comparison to like the Tadbulb. Hopefully we'll get a better Bellibolt variant in the future. Galarian Ponyta. I can't talk. It's going to have the attack flop. Nothing special there. Okay, Rapidash. For 1 psychic energy, it's 40 damage. If you have 5 or more psychic energy and play, this attack does 60 more damage. So hear me out. If you have Mega Gardevoir and you attack with it and throw 3 of your psychic energy onto Rapidash, then automatically you're doing 100 damage. Pretty good, I'll be honest. And you can also heal it with Diantha. Wobbuffet, 100 HP. Okay, this attack, I'm not a fan of it. We got Snubbull and Granbull. These are just normal attacks. Okay, we got a new Ralts. Oh, we get a Confused Ray Ralts. I kind of like that. And then Psybeam as well. And then, of course... Oh, okay, so we got, like, the non-Mega version. So for 2 energy, take... Oh, that's still good. That's really good. Even if you don't want to use Mega Gardevoir, you can still attach 2 Psychic Energy without like ending the game for running Mega Gardevoir. That's actually really good. And then of course Mega Gardevoir will take 3 energy and attach it to your Psychic Pokemon. Versus with regular Gardevoir, you have to pick 1 Pokemon and attach 2. But with Mega Gardevoir, you can attach it any way you like. So it doesn't have to be to just 1 Pokemon. Obviously the Mega Gardevoir attack is better, but it's going to cost 3 points if it gets knocked out. Oh, we got the Ghost type Litwick line. Okay. Chandelure, 2 energy, 60 damage, and 20 more damage for each supporter card in your discard pile. So you run this deck with a bunch of support. Like if you're playing, basically, in a perfect world, you're playing a supporter every turn. So let's say you need 2 Psychic Energy. So let's say you had your first turn, you attach an energy, and then your second turn you rare candy. You've done whatever. You should already be doing 100 damage for 2 energy if you've played 2 of your supporters. And obviously, the longer you go into the game, the more damage this is going to do. Like, if you get to the end of your deck and you keep playing supporters, I feel like this is going to get more and more broken. Okay, and the Meloetta. This one seems like it'll be a really good support card for Psychic decks. Obviously, the attack is not the best, but the ability is really good. Ghost-type Pumpkaboo has joined the chat as well. And then Gourgeist for 1 energy. Wait. This is basically just Kofagrigus, but even more broken. It's only 1 energy, but it's 70 damage. And all you have to do is discard a card from your hand. That's actually really strong. Okay, then here's our GOAT Mimikyu EX. We knew this one was coming. We already saw this one in the trailer. When it's first damaged by an attack, it doesn't take any damage, and then it's just 2 energy, 70 damage. The attack is just alright, but the disguise is the main reason you're running Mimikyu there. Okay, Sinistea, Hide. We've seen this attack before. Okay, Poltergeist. It has an ability, once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may have your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck. For each remaining point... Wait. So this is basically Mars? Yeah, Poltergeist is just a built-in Mars. That's actually kind of funny. And then it's just a 1 energy, 40 damage. Okay, that's actually way too toxic, especially because it's an ability card from the bench. So you could just throw Poltergeist like in a Psychic type deck. Obviously, I think you're better off just running a copy of Mars. But if you're just like doing it for the gimmick, then yeah, that's actually really funny. We got a basic Indeedee. Ooh, I like that. 3 energy, 70 damage to a bench Pokemon. That's actually kind of fire. Okay, onto the fighting types. We have a Sandshrew, Double Scratch, and then a Sandslash, Fury Slaps. Okay. Oh, you can discard a Stadium in play with the new Machop card. And then Machoke is just a 1 energy, 40 damage. Ooh, I like this Machamp card. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Just completely get it out of there. And for only 2 energy, that's actually really strong. Like, honestly, I could see running Machamp and Lucario. Get it up to 120 damage, and you're discarding a card for only 2 energy. That's actually pretty banger. Okay, we got the new Cubone, which makes sense because we did have the Alolan Marowak earlier. Okay, new Meditite card, 1 energy, Smack, and then Medicham. Okay, so we kind of already saw the promo card earlier, or like it got leaked on Twitter, but the promo card, there's a Mega Medicham EX for those of y'all that don't know. It's 3 energy, and I think it goes from 100 damage up to either 140 or 150 if it has Psychic Energy attached. And it's 3 energy instead of 2 compared to this one, but it's going to be a Mega card. So this is basically like the non-Mega version of that. Still interesting. I'm not sure how reliable it's going to be to run dual energy, but I guess we'll see what happens. Okay, Roggenrola with Mud Slap. Ooh, okay. And then Boldore. Oh, Gigalith has the EX version. Wait, 140 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And then this Pokemon cannot attack in your next turn. Obviously, you can do some shenanigans with Lyra to get around that. Actually, yeah, wait, hold up. You can attack any Pokemon for 140 damage. You can hit a card on the bench for 140. You can hit a card in the active spot for 140. Huh, I don't know how I feel about this. There's a lot of potential for it to be extremely good. I'm sure people will be formulating decks. You'll probably want to run like Pokemon Flute in this. Like imagine if you have a basic card that you can just farm points with. And then on the alternative, imagine if they have like an EX card. And you're just like, alright, well I can actually kill it anyways because I do 140 damage to it. Yeah, that could be really strong. Okay, we got a new Drillbur. Oh, we're getting in the other fossil. Okay, so this is Tyrant. It's 2 energy, 60 damage. And the Tyrantrum is 100 damage for 3 energy. If you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent, this attack does 80 more damage. Okay. Oh, wait. 180 damage? For 3 energy? Okay. I see the potential here. Look, hear me out. You run Pokemon Flute in this deck so that whenever you get a point, like if you get a point early game, you can just bring their Pokemon back onto the bench so you're still doing constantly 180 damage. And then you try and keep only Tyrantrum alive. Obviously, it's a little risky to do that, but I feel like this is the way you're supposed to do it. We got a new Passimian. Nothing special about this one. We did see the Phalanx in the trailer. If you have another Phalanx in play, it does plus 20 damage and it takes minus 20 damage. I kind of like that Phalanx. Obviously, you have to have both of them in play for it to actually be good. Okay, we got the final version of Ogerpon. For 80 HP, it's a 2 energy attack. Another coin flip, but it takes minus 100 from attacks if you flip heads. That's actually really funny. So, Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon can actually just tank like anything. That's funny. Okay, we got Alolan Meowth, 60 health, and its swagger. Flip a coin. If heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And we got Alolan Persian. Okay, we're getting a new Alolan Muck. Oh, Power of Alchemy. Basic Pokemon in play have no abilities. Wait. That's actually like peak. Wait, hold up. I'm already seeing like potential here. Like, I know we have that one old Snorlax card where it's like, if you attach any energy to it, it falls asleep or something like that. Or if it attacks, it falls asleep. Any cards like that where it's like, this is my ability, is like, you fall asleep. If you just throw Alolan Muck out on the bench, then they completely ignore that. Because keep in mind, your Alolan Muck doesn't have to be in the active spot for this. It can be on the bench supporting. So this is like a new way to support those kind of cards. That's actually really good. I like that. That does 30 damage. Whiny Voice is a crazy name for an attack. Flip a coin of heads, look at a random card from your opponent's hand and shuffle it into their deck. And then you just have a 1 energy 30 or 60 if you flip heads. I don't really like that one. Scraggy is normal. Okay, Scrafty. Crush the Weak, 50 damage. If they have more energy attached, or no, if you have more energy attached than their active, this attack does 50 more damage. So basically, if you're ramping quicker than your opponent, you could do 100 damage for 2 energy. I like that, but the problem is there's not enough ramping support for dark types. So obviously you can do some shenanigans where you move a different energy, because it doesn't say it has to be dark type energy. You just have to have more energy, so you could probably ramp other kinds of energy to give it more damage, but I feel like that's not worth it. Ooh, okay, Yveltal. That's actually kind of fire. 3 energy, 90 damage, and you discard an energy from both Pokemon. Okay, another Ultra Beast card. It's been a while since we saw one. So Guzzlord has a 4 energy attack. Flip a coin. If heads, discard your opponent's active Pokemon. I'm not sure if that's like absolutely garbage or really good. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's just funny. And that's about it. We probably will not actually be using this card in a serious manner, but it could be hilarious if you get lucky with some coin flips and you just discard all of their active Pokemon. Alright, our GOAT is here, Galarian Meowth. And then Berserker, ability dig up. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon to evolve one of your Pokemon, you can put 2 random tool cards from your discard pile into your hand. Okay, so you're supposed to use this with the new Pokemon tool. Because we got that new tool for Steel types, where it's like you attach it to the Steel type card and they take minus 50 for attacks, but then it gets discarded like at the end of your opponent's next turn. And so you play that, it discards your tool, but then you play Galarian Berserker and you can dig those tools back up and put them back in your hand. That's actually really fire. This is for sure going in the Mega Mawile deck. Speak of the Devil, Mawile is up next. And then of course we already know about the Heat Up Crunch. I'm really excited to try Mega Mawile. It seems like it'll be a lot of fun. And then here's our new Excadrill. Okay, Pharaoh Seed, Pharaoh Thorn. I don't really like this card, it just seems kind of basic. Galarian Stunfisk, 2 energy, 40 damage during your opponent's next turn. If it's in the active spot, when your opponent's active Pokemon retreats, it does 40 damage to the new active Pokemon. Interesting. So you throw out Galarian Stunfisk to try and stop someone from running away, or else you're going to punish them harder. Okay, I see now. So you attack with Stunfisk, and if they retreat, like if they run away, then you automatically do the 40 damage. I was thinking like you do 80 damage on your next turn. No, you automatically do 40 damage when they switch out Pokemon. So basically if you attack with Galarian Stunfisk, they have to stay in or just suffer the automatic 40. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, we have a new Aegislash already. Interesting. I do like this Doublade a lot more than the current Doublade that we have, especially because a lot of people run Memory Light. Okay, this is actually not a bad card. 3 energy, 80 damage, and then you take minus 80 specifically from EX Pokemon. Which, let's be honest, you're going to run into that a lot if you're trying to run Aegislash. This one isn't bad. I'd probably still prefer the old Aegislash. I'm more focused on that Doublade attack. I really like it, and I think that with Memory Light, you want to be running that Doublade instead of the one we have right now. Okay, and our Dragon type for this set is Salamence. So Bagon is colorless, and then Shogun is a mix of fire and water for 60. And then Salamence is 150 for the 3 energy. You flip a coin. If tails, it also does 50 damage to itself. And then our boy Meowth over here, Carefree Steps. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, flip a coin. If heads, prevent the damage. And then one colorless energy, draw a card. Wait, Meowth is about to just be a new tank. What is this? You can draw cards with Meowth for free? That's actually kind of goated. And then Persian is just going to be 2 energy, 60 damage. Okay, we have a new Kangaskhan. 3 energy, 60 damage if flip a coin. If heads, it does 30 more. I still feel like the old one is better. Oh, okay, but we have Mega Kangaskhan. Alright, our GOAT is finally joining the family. 3 energy, it does 80 damage. This attack is used twice in a row. The second attack does 40 damage. Okay. This is basically pre-nerf Mega Kangaskhan. This is Mega Kangaskhan from Gen 6 when they were like, yeah, let's make the baby attack do half the damage instead of a quarter. Shout out to anyone who ever got terrorized by that card back in the day. Or not by that card, but by that Pokemon when you were actually playing Pokemon X and Y. Okay, the secondary effect is the thing I like the most about it. If the first attack knocks out your opponent's active Pokemon, they have to send in a new Pokemon and it takes the second hit. That's actually, I mean, that's kind of cool. I don't know if it warrants the Mega. I kind of wish it was a little bit more damage. But still pretty cool nonetheless. Sentret, just a normal attack, prefer it as well. Okay, Smeargle. On starting your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may look at a random supporter card from your opponent's hand. Use the effect of that card as the effect of this ability. Okay, that's interesting. So you could, this is basically like every turn you get a penny basically if Smeargle is in your active spot. I kind of like that. Obviously it's a little funny, but I like that a lot. Like I could see running Smeargle just for like the giggles, you know? Okay, Lugia, 4 energy is diabolical for 80 damage. Flip 2 coins, it does 40 more for each heads. I still don't think 4 energy is worth that. Not a fan of that Lugia card. We have Tailo and Swellow. Okay, Swellow has an ability. Once during your turn, you may switch out your opponent's... Oh, okay, so it's basically Pidgeot. Wait. This is just worse Pidgeot. I mean, obviously it's only a stage 1, but it's 50 damage instead of 70. And it's 80 HP versus, I think that Pidgeot is like 120 or 140 HP. Oh, and you can only use this on basic Pokemon. I didn't even realize that. You may switch out your opponent's active basic Pokemon to the bench. Yeah, not cool. I'm not a fan of that. That's actually like garbage. We got Slackoth, put your opponent's Pokemon to sleep. This Vigoroth card, not a fan. The Slacking, let's see. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever you attach an energy, it's now asleep. This won't work with the one card, the Muck, because that only works on basic cards. But we can run Comfey with this card. Comfey, who will stop you from getting any status conditions. Or you could even run the new Ogerpon EX, the grass type one, because it stops all of your Pokemon from getting affected by status conditions. So you could just run that alongside the Slacking, and honestly, yeah, that might be tech, because it's 160 HP. We got the Spinda Tornadus. If a Stadium is in play, it does 40 more damage. That seems just okay. The Earthquake is, I'm not a huge fan of it. We got another Furfrou card. Wait, but it's 3 energy. I thought that said 2 energy, 70 damage. I was about to say I'm deleting this game right now. 3 energy, 70 damage, that's really strong. I'm sure that people won't run this card. The other Furfrou that was only 1 energy is a lot better. But this is still a little spooky. We got Tandemaus. Put 3 random cards from among Tandemaus and Mousehold from your deck onto your bench. How does that work? How are you putting them onto your bench? Because Mousehold is not a basic card. And then you have the Family Beatdown. We already saw this one before. I'm confused by this. So can you just put a Mousehold on the bench without evolving it? Or will it just like will it automatically evolve to Maushold? Is that what it's saying it'll do? I'm confused. We'll have to see when it actually comes out. Okay, now we're getting to the item cards. We already saw, or I guess we already know we're gonna have fossils. Okay, Lucky Ice Pop. Heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. If you healed any damage in this way, flip a coin of heads, put it into your hand instead of the discard pile. Interesting. So this is basically just a better potion. Why would you run this over? Oh, it only works on the active Pokemon. But that's still like a better potion, I'm gonna be honest. Actually, yeah, wait, hold up. This is broken because you heal it, and then if you flip heads, you can just put it back into your hand and play it again. Because it's an item card, you can play as many items as you want. It doesn't go in your deck, it goes into your hand. So in a perfect world, you could just keep playing Lucky Ice Pop over and over again. Obviously, you have to flip heads over and over again. But hold on, this I fear is actually going to be way too stupid for no reason. We got the other fossil. Okay, new tool, Protective Poncho. Okay, so you can't take any bench damage. That's actually really good. I like that for a Pokemon tool. Okay, here's the one broken Pokemon tool that we saw in the trailer. No way. Have they've buffed multi-energy. If there's 3 or more different types of energy between all of your Pokemon in play, you move all energy from each of your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. You literally run Giratina in any dual type energy deck. Giratina generates its own psychic energy, and then you can just like move all the energy over if you're getting unlucky. I think the best case where you could put this into good use is you would want to run a card like Magneton, who generates the lightning energy, because most dual energy decks you need a lightning energy, and so you run a card like Magneton who can generate a lightning energy, so that way it counts as your third type. I don't know, I'm curious how this is going to work out. I feel like the card that would get buffed by this the most is maybe something like Dragonite, like maybe if you're breaking early game. I guess we'll have to see though. We saw the Piers in the trailer already. We know this card is going to be super toxic. Okay, we got a new stadium, Training Arena. Attacks used by stage 1 Pokemon do plus 10 damage. I'm gonna be honest, that's a little spooky. And then starting planes, each basic Pokemon gets plus 20 HP. That's actually really good. Throwing that one in the Mawile deck for sure. And then Peculiar Plaza, we already know about this one. And it looks like that's it. They're showing the full arts now. I'm not going to show every full art because I think maybe some of y'all want that to be a surprise. But if y'all do want to see all of the cards, I'm sure people have leaked the full set online. You guys can find, I mean, I have a Google Drive folder that has all of the cards. Y'all could probably find the leaks online yourselves. I'm not going to go through every full art and spoil the gold crowns and the immersives and everything like that. But yeah, that's going to be all for this video. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think about some of these new cards. I'm super excited to use a lot of these. The Mega Swampert seemed like a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool new items. There's a lot of cool new support cards. I'm so thrilled. But more importantly, we're going to be opening 100 packs whenever this set drops. And that's happening in like just a couple of hours from the time that I'm working on this video. So make sure y'all are subbed up if you don't want to miss that, because I will be uploading that video as soon as I can. That's all for me though. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.